Godzilla! Omega level, Omega level, Omega level.
On the last episode of Omega Level podcast. Yeah, rest in peace to the announcer for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. What's his name?
Wow.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I didn't know it either. You didn't have to say it like that, though. I'm just saying we should have had a better presentation.
Much respect to that guy. Forged a large part of my childhood.
Yep. God, I told myself I wasn't going to cry on screen.
That's okay. We'll move on.
We'll move on.
On this episode,
man,
talking about Godzilla, King of Monsters, Mr. and Mrs. X issue 11, and Justice League Odyssey issue 9. 8. I always fuck up somehow.
That's cool. You were money, though. You were money for a little bit. I was like, man, I'm proud of Steven. You my dudes, man. You my dudes.
Thank you.
What you do this weekend, man? Did you do anything?
I was at work.
Oh, yeah. Work. You know who wasn't at work? Or actually, sorry. You know
Thatcher?
who was at work? Oh, yeah, Thatcher. R.I.P. Thatcher. He died in
He's not going to watch this.
No, he's not.
He never supported us.
Nope. Instead of our new hashtag fuck Jeff, we're going to go hashtag fuck Thatcher. We're going to go back to hashtag fuck Jeff. That fits a little bit better, you know? Yep. Something we didn't do, and I'm pretty disappointed in myself. Shout out to our number one fan, Froster. What's good, man?
Frost.
What's up, Alpine Frost? Alpine Frost. I said Froster. Sorry, that's David. Oof. Alpine Frost. We love you, man.
That's not what you thought of Godzilla.
We don't know. What did you think about Godzilla? You got a couple seconds? Spare some time? Spare some spare Chang? I'm rewatching Community. Chang references all day, baby. Come on, man. Gotta make a Chang.
I never got that far. Chang.
You definitely should have gotten that far. You said you watched the first 3 seasons. You 100% saw
I watched
Chang.
at least the first 2. I don't think I watched
He's in the
all
first
3.
4 episodes. Spanish 101's like episode 3.
I thought you were talking about something else. Sorry.
Or 2.
All right, so Godzilla.
Man.
Follow up to Godzilla 2014. Not what the title was.
And also in the same cinematic universe as Skull Island, which they hinted at the depiction of Ghidorah and Mothra in the Skull Island after credit scenes. Spoilers ahead. Just want to go ahead and get that out of there, and we can just do whatever the fuck we want, you know?
Oh, yeah.
This is our world.
Full spoilers for everything we discuss here.
Godzilla wins.
And usually out of order.
Yep, and out of order, but that's what we love to do. What did you think, man? I was pleased. Let down on some parts, but overall, very pleased.
If the entire movie had been like the last 30 minutes, it would have been a really good movie.
But the last hour was great. As soon as Rodan got introduced, that movie was like, okay, this is what.
Yeah, I liked Rodan's scene, but like Nick says, the human story was too prevalent throughout the film.
Just like less so. Maybe it was better handled than the 2014 one. 2014 one was just...
That's because the performances in this movie were better than the 2014 one.
True. Nothing was
Granted,
as good.
Nothing matched Bryan Cranston's performance, but that's to be expected.
I was going to say, but they all surpassed everyone else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Austin Varys Jenkins.
We definitely got more combat, too. So,
I think I just named a fucking football player, by the way.
I wouldn't know.
AVJ. It's Quicksilver in the...
Yeah,
Marvel.
Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass. There you go. Elizabeth Olsen was also not good in that movie. My rewatch, though, made that a little bit better. I was very critical. Have you seen it since the terrible... Wow, man, you should have watched it again.
I know.
So your views on that are probably like hardcore misconstrued, man. Because we both were like, this movie sucked unless Godzilla was on screen, and that was very little in the 2014
Very
one.
little.
But then I rewatched with Matt like a month or 2 ago, and I was like, okay, this is actually a lot better than I remember it.
All right.
Yeah, you should definitely go back. Cranston you're still going to like Cranston. He was money. It's just... He was doing so well in that movie that everyone else was like, oh, what the hell are you even here for? Just let Bryan Cranston be every role.
I just don't know why they paid for him to only be in the movie for 15 minutes.
Yeah, seriously. But this one, King of Monsters, Millie Bobby Brown should have been in more. Fucking hated Emma, her mother. God, she was just an awful character. Not terribly acted, just an awful character. I sided with her
at the beginning, but then, like you said, she flip-flopped.
It's just her whole
for
approach.
Seemingly little to no reason.
Yeah.
It was because she realized she fucked up when resurrecting Ghidorah.
The false king. That's what they did.
It's because,
huge mistake.
She went to some eco-terrorists because they realized that humans are garbage.
I love that monologue.
We're overpopulated. We're polluting the world. We have massive wars, just screwing the environment up. And so she wants to give it back to the Titans, which are the kaiju.
The natural order of things.
Because, wherever they go, whatever they destroy, nature follows. Like, nature seems to flourish in their tracks because of, I guess, the immense amount of radiation they put out. I guess that has a part of it.
And I like that that's shown in a couple things, too. Especially in the animated Netflix one. I thought that was, like, it literally shaped, it terraformed the whole world to have Godzilla's DNA. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just trying to give the world back to the Titans. Everyone's like, they're going to sacrifice billions. I'm like, yeah, but we suck. So, sided with her, but then, they realize that in resurrecting Ghidorah is not a nature preserver.
Nope.
It goes around to planets just fucking everything up with its little storm. It just kills planets and then moves on to the next one.
See, and I like that they brought that in. Ghidorah's not from here.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like, oh, shit.
That's the thing that usually happens. I know Nick didn't know that, but I assume most people wouldn't. I haven't watched like every Godzilla movie. It's just like something I know that he usually comes from space, which I think is awesome. He's a space dragon.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
cool.
I like that. And then they found more murals kind of insinuating that these were actually the first gods.
Yeah.
People worship these things, and they were the ones that actually like kept balance. And Mothra being good, gosh, she was gorgeous.
Mothra looked
Queen,
awesome.
The queen of the monsters, man.
Yeah.
They even gave that title. I was like, dude.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that title given to her.
That's awesome. She was really. She looked
Someone
really
was
good.
like, so Godzilla and like Mothra are like a thing?
Is that a?
That's weird.
Well, they said that symbiotically work together.
Like frogs and scorpions and lions and mice.
I like that one better.
Yeah.
Because the lion didn't eat the mouse.
No.
Scorpion definitely stabbed the frog on the fucking back. What an asshole.
Hey,
Killed them both.
Certain spiders have like little frogs as pets too.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Well, they don't. I mean, it's not like they
Not
eat
pet,
the frogs, but it's cool.
Still, they ride them into the battlefield. We're gonna make a movie about this. Stay tuned. Overall, Godzilla was. I love how he looks. His face is defined. I like
He's
that.
still
Mean
thick
mugging,
with 2 C's.
dude. It's a good thick though. It's like thick Thor. Oof, straight money.
Yeah, think about that. Chris Hemsworth got to get paid the same amount, if not more, and he had to work out like 100% less.
He's like, you tell me I don't have to go
What
hard
a
for this
fucking
film?
good gig.
Yeah. He's like, you tell me I can just be severely depressed and a drunk? Don't mind if I do.
But yeah, it starts out with
Boring first 35 minutes.
Monarch. That's the company that's like finding all these kaiju. They're like monitoring Mothra's egg as it's about to hatch, and it's the first introduction of like the little orca device, which is what they use to communicate with kaiju, because that's usually a thing.
Why don't you stop talking like a robot, Steven? Jeez.
Talking like
Need some more energy,
the fuck
man.
out of here.
Come on, man. Be excited. It's Godzilla.
Gojira.
Gojira, sorry. God.
Yeah, their little
Jeez.
orca device that they use to communicate with kaiju. I guess they use like, I forgot what they're like bioacoustics. Yeah, like the
Certain
sounds that they
frequencies
make
giving off that.
combine certain ones to, I guess, get different effects, which usually like either attract them or ward them away. But yeah, Mothra was apparently like determined to get born or whatever. Was it Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
11?
Yeah, 11. Her mom goes in, tries talking with her, gets it to be peaceful after it waxes a few soldiers that were in there. I guess it's security. Throws one into a wall. It would look like it was going to eat a wall, but it eats her webs.
Yeah, man. It's because Mothra's not bad. So
yeah, they're having a nice little touching moment. Millie Bobby Brown does the whole thing, like gigantic monsters in every fucking movie or anime. Some little person's going to put their hand on it and just cause it to be peaceful. And then Tywin Lannister comes in, Reigns of Castamere starts playing, and everything goes to shit.
the lion still has claws.
But yeah, so Millie, Madison is the character's name.
They've Maddie the whole time.
Yeah, Maddie, and then her mom, Emma, I think, or something like that. They get taken by the terrorist group. Later on, you find out that her mom is the one that reached out to them because she believes in their cause of just giving the Earth back to the Titans. I forgot. Well, it actually started out with the 2014 clip of like Godzilla just fucking up Los Angeles, and then the main character, I don't remember the dad's name, just yelling Andrew or whatever his son's name is. Made me think of Detroit, or sorry, not Detroit, Heavy Rain. Jacob!
Yeah, and I, not counting the flashbacks, I was correct. You don't see Godzilla for the first like 35, 40 minutes, other than the 2 flashbacks. Setup was fine. Just they focus too much on the humans in this.
Yes.
It's not learn from Skull Island, where
They
it was
could've-
like Kong from the fucking jump, little sprinkled in human, mainly Kong.
They could
was
have
done
trimmed like 30 minutes from this movie, I think.
I don't know if they not necessarily trimmed 30 minutes because all the human parts were integral for the storytelling. I thought
They could have done it a little bit quicker.
They could have done it quicker. I like that they brought in the twins, the lore that is Mothra.
We
That's
see
awesome.
twins, but we don't see them do anything.
Well, not yet. That's the next one, man.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they were just acknowledging that they were like a line. They're like a third generation, fourth generation, fifth. Like
Yeah, but I
it just
wanted to
runs
see
in
them
the
talk to Mothra. That's usually what they do.
And Mothra got straight. Good sacrifice move, Mothra. We love you.
Spoilers, man.
All right. Man, that was stated at the beginning of this.
I
If you're
know.
still watching and you're like, oh man, I'm blown away, you deserve this punishment.
Yeah, okay. But after Mothra left, she goes and cocoons herself in a waterfall. Comes out later on in the movie, just glorious, like bright light. It looks like a god. And yeah, like he says, well, there's a little. She fights Rodan while Godzilla's fighting Ghidorah at one point. It looks like Rodan has her pinned on like a building. He's about to finish her off, and she like stabs him through the gut with like her little thorax or whatever.
That was an awesome move.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever really seen her with like a stinger, but that was pretty cool. Mothra just looked really good in this movie, like her little pincers and
Most of the
everything.
designs, even like I mean, Rodan's never had the flaming thing, but they were practical effect. I mean, back then they're in suits. You
I know.
I mean, yeah. This one, I liked that they had the lava, like it burst. Rodan burst out of the freaking the volcano itself.
Looked like a thick vault he broke through.
Man, yeah, thick vault, volcano erupted, and then you have him have those rocks that go in between, like a magma on his skin.
Yeah.
Man, that was really cool. Like from that moment, the movie was really, really good.
That's when it picked up a lot. But yeah, Mothra after, well, I wouldn't say beating Rodan because you see him bowing down to Godzilla at the end, but at least incapacitating him for a decent amount of time. Probably like put poison in him, I assume.
It probably just it was probably a clearly not a fatal blow. Rodan survived.
Well, like how Godzilla had to go and like resuscitate after a while.
Something
Did
like
to
that.
him.
Not
Yeah.
even to that. Not that major though.
Yeah, Ghidorah was about to fuck up Godzilla some more, and then Mothra does her little sacrifice, takes the blow, and then they do what? Puts her soul into Godzilla
Yes.
and gets powered up for a second time.
Yeah, we didn't even mention, man. They killed my favorite human in this whole thing, Shirazama. God, Shirazama. Why they got to kill? Why they got to kill the doc? Why they got to
Yeah.
kill the doc like that?
That was a really good scene too. I like the way that was shot. Yeah, most of my problems with this movie, I think, is like it was filmed kind of grimdark most of the time too. Like there's not a whole lot of color throughout the movie. It seems like everything has like a little dark atmosphere most of the time.
Most of it seemed to be at night, though. I mean, and they had the whole like, which was true to the lore of Ghidorah. They had it in a storm, which is something that it does. That's awesome. Like so, everywhere Ghidorah was, there was just storm and destruction.
I know.
They have the awesome scene of him standing up and summoning these. They're like, "Oh shit, you're supposed to wake these up one at a time." Well, we woke the wrong one up.
Well, it's because
so now
Ghidorah,
Emma's like,
that's because
"Oh,
Ghidorah woke everybody
that's
else
right." Yeah,
up. Yeah,
that's what I was saying before you interrupted me. When he, they have this second realization of like, "Oh no, I made a mistake," and then you find out, like he was saying earlier, Charles Dance wasn't even the ringleader. Emma was like, "I wanted to do this." He finally mentioned it. You approached me. They should have made Charles Dance and Emma one character and let Charles Dance do it, or let her be that character.
Yeah, that'd have
Instead
been
of
fine.
bringing this whole relationship of mother-daughter, their husband and wife didn't agree because she chose work over family. So the dad was depicted as a drinker, and he even admits, I didn't want her to see that.
And the fact that like they were both, well, he destroyed the orca thing, and then she went back and just like remade it.
Well, yeah, because he wanted these monsters dead because they killed his son.
Oh yeah, because he realized like if you control that orca thing, whoever has it, obviously they could basically control the kaiju and like basically militarize them.
Yeah,
which
control
would just
loosely.
be terrible. Yeah. Well, I mean, you would because you can just like put it in a
All it does is-
location, ping it, and then it would bring monsters there, and obviously like they're just gonna wreck hell.
I mean, that's more or less like guiding them. That's not controlling them.
The implication's still there.
Because they brought him there.
though.
We saw what happened when Millie Bobby Brown brought in, when Maddie brought Ghidorah to Boston.
Well, I don't even think that was what she was trying to do. She just tried to calm them, and then like since it kept pinging, and Ghidorah's like, okay, there's something else that's like blocking out my signal, so I'm gonna put a stop to that.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of references too for the old movies too. I thought that was cool. Matt.
Well, they straight
Matt
up
brought
like
up a couple
use
things.
like several clips from the 2014 movie.
No, I meant like old school, like the original
Oh.
Toho.
Oh, like references
Like
and stuff,
Godzilla,
like the
like
oxygen destroyer.
The oxygen destroyer that accidentally killed Godzilla because humans are fucking stupid. You killed the only thing that I'm glad they mentioned that too.
That was one of my problems. Is like they use that to just try and destroy Godzilla and Ghidorah. Didn't seem to do anything to Ghidorah for some reason. I guess because Godzilla took the brunt of that.
Yeah.
And then there's like, oh well, we destroyed our thing. I'm like, well, that's what you guys you wanted to do that.
Yeah, but now you fucked up because the one thing that's going to destroy everything you didn't hit.
Yeah.
That was also something that created. What did Matt say? I forgot. Fuck.
Oh, destroyer.
Destroyer. It actually
Destroyer.
created, which is a crustacean, which that happened in the water. So that could definitely be something that they want to build into because we had 17 kaiju in this movie. You only saw a total of 7, 4 in action.
Yeah. Well,
4 actually fighting.
you see, okay, yeah, Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah actually duking it out. You see clips of like this mammoth-looking thing without.
Yeah.
Like, it walks like an ape. It's like its front 2 legs are bigger.
Yeah.
And then you see one that looks like a spider lobster or
And then
something.
the one from 2014.
Then another Muto. And I think that was it.
Yes.
As far as I can remember. But you don't really see anything from like those last 3 that we mentioned. They're just on the news, just wrecking stuff in like Germany and stuff.
And one of my favorite moments in this movie was when they finally came to an approach of like, we need to fight with Godzilla. Once they juiced him
It's
up.
just like, what are you going to do?
I know, it's a distraction.
You're inconsequential.
You're pointless. But that was my favorite shot was him walking through the water, and then you have all these ships and all the planes next to him and stuff like that. That was just a really
my
cool
thing
shot.
was like, I would not want to be on the boat next to him.
no.
Because also they talked about like, oh, he's surging with radiation. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm assuming everyone on those ships probably just got cancer.
They do it for the world, okay? For the world. And going into that, with him being juiced up twice, Mothra's spirit, and that atomic bomb that we found Godzilla's home, which I thought was cool. It's nice. He actually showed like you see
after
the
the
statues?
oxygen destroyer, he goes and tries to rest up and heal up by getting radiation.
Yep, and we have a guy confirm wormholes in the ground.
yeah, they're little the hollow Earth theory, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like little super highways underneath the.
Makes sense why they like
Earth's
lose track
crust.
of them, and he's like going a bunch of places.
Exactly. Because like, how do you not keep track of that? No, it's because you go under the Earth.
No,
Pop up
Godzilla.
somewhere else like hours later. It's like we never got to see a clip of Godzilla just soaring underneath a tunnel at
that'd
like
been
500 miles an hour.
His like similar. I mean, he looks so good underwater, man. His intimidation.
Yes.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, that intimidation scene was pretty cool. There's a moment where like they feel him coming towards them while they're in like this like super like fortified sub, I guess.
No, they were in the. They were still in the building itself. They didn't leave the ship yet.
Oh,
they were still
okay.
in that one outpost. I can't remember which base it was called.
Yeah,
though.
they got like their little defenses up. They got their
I was in
weapons
Bermuda.
ready, and then like Millie Bobby Brown's dad is just like, lower the weapons. We need to show him that we're not a threat. And like, what the hell are you thinking, bro? All right, whatever. And
then lowering the
dumbass
field.
is just like, let's lower the shields too. Everyone's like, fucking sure, why not?
And if he wants to destroy you, he's going to destroy you.
Yeah,
you know
which
what I
is
mean?
true.
It's like, what are you really
But
going to
yeah,
do?
you see him like pulsating lights. They're like, what's he doing? And like, I think it's like how like apes like pound their chest. I think he's trying to intimidate us, which I thought was pretty cool. He's just sitting there just beeping.
And of course, it goes all. They have a little close scene. He's Godzilla straight mean mugging.
Yeah, I love how like all these movies, Godzilla's always like eyeballing somebody. He always makes a connection with like some human for some reason. Like
I like that. Why not, man?
he walks through cities and he just like is like, oh, I'm gonna pay attention to this one little ant.
Well, I mean, when he's staring down into the hole, and he's like, well, I see a bunch of little things. You know.
Yeah, also like after they lower the fields, he's like, I'm gonna walk up to the glass dude's like, what the hell you doing, dude?
Most realistic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. It was the dad that played. It was Brie Larson's dad in Unicorn Store. Had a lot of little witty banter in this.
And he's also
The movie still sucked.
He's also the racist white dad in Get Out.
Oh yeah, okay. I knew I recognized him. In
He was the
something else,
ringleader of
too.
that family.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, okay, good performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had a jump scare right after that, which kind of pissed me off.
Yeah,
I typically don't hate jump scares, but that one actually got me a little bit. I wasn't expecting
They're
it,
stupid.
even though I should have.
They're stupid.
I agree, but
I already got enough of that from Brightburn last week. I'm good now.
I
Jesus.
know.
Man. Epic fights though, man. God, going in and out of the water. I thought that was cool. Godzilla. Too many saving throws, in my opinion. Like Godzilla coming looks like Ghidorah's about to fuck shit up, but then Godzilla's there. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's
100%.
typical. It's expected. It's nothing bad. A few cliches in here, like them getting in the car and they're like, "Oh man, they're gonna destroy something." He's like, "If you two were my parents." By the way, that's Ice Cube's son. If you didn't know that, yeah.
Cool.
He played Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton too.
Oh really? I haven't seen that. That's cool.
But having him being like, man, if you were my parents, I'd leave home too. And then they stop the car and they're like,
What'd you say?
home.
That was the one time I actually like
I said lame.
that was the one time I actually like rolled my eyes in the movie. I was like, oh, come on.
Like,
You're gonna make that connection in the middle of this crisis.
we have to go home. Oh my goodness. A few of the other like scary moments, like he was saying earlier about Maddie touching the Mothra. I don't mind that. It's cliche, but it works for me. You know, it's okay. God, I'm actually blanking on the one towards the end that was kind of...
The guy that you like did it when he sacrificed himself.
He touched it. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what that makes sense. But he's just loved those things.
Though.
Yeah, for him that makes total sense. Like he's like, "Oh my God, you are a god to me. Your name is God."
Oh yeah, there's other times like, "Oh my God, Zilla."
Dude, I love that. I love that. And it's the same guy that was like making all the like kind of like realistic dialogue too. He was talking like a natural person. A very smart scientist that had a fucking hell of a time in the 60s.
Yeah.
Dude did a lot of acid. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
That character, he probably delved deep and was like, you know what? I did a lot of drugs back in my day. 60s and 70s were a blur.
We were talking about like all those saving moments. It happened like in Antarctica. It happened at the Red Sox Stadium, I believe.
Speaking of Antarctica, man, they straight stepped on Sally Hawkins. God.
Yeah, which
there was no build-up for that.
Who the hell that was?
There was no build-up for that.
Because there's so many other times it looks like someone's going to get crushed, but they just barely fucking made
this
it.
one, she got straight squashed.
Okay, there wasn't a whole lot of violent deaths for people, but there's like one time they got off the helicopter and two people got straight up zapped by Ghidorah.
Yeah, and that was just stray lightning.
Yeah,
that wasn't even
lightning.
from him. That was just boom. And Matt and I were talking on the way home. Those soldiers that followed after that are some of the bravest people you will ever meet. They saw two people just completely turn to dust within seconds, and they're like, all right, we've got to keep going. They're the bravest people on the fucking planet.
They're also pretty stupid because there's like that one time they landed right beside Godzilla and Ghidorah fighting. I'm like, and then their helicopter gets stepped on like 5 minutes later, I think, after they find the little orca thing. Like, well, yeah, what the hell were you guys thinking?
Cool shot after it, but the first part was kind of dumb when they were trying to save that one helicopter because they had cargo on it and people, and they saved it up. And did you see Tom Middleditch, the one with the beard that was talking to the main guy the whole time?
No.
He's the skinny...
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
He was the main one trying to talk to him, got the book at the end.
Yeah.
He was given Shirazawa's book. He just stood there when a blade was coming toward him. They had to pull him away. He's just like, I'm blown away right now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I would
like
probably...
it comes up exploding, it's spinning. It's clearly not going to be... Like, everyone needs to be out of that room.
I would probably be the same way. I'd just be paralyzed with fear.
Yeah, he's... Dude,
that was
like,
like
the fuck down.
an incredibly risky maneuver.
100%. But it led up to an awesome shot and
pretty
another
cool,
one of
though.
those saving throws where it was Ghidorah coming up like, oh, we fucked up. Oh, we fucked up. Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, and he jumps out of the water. Yeah,
it was awesome. It was cool.
Yeah, it was right after the moment, like, that's when Godzilla rips off one of Ghidorah's heads, like with his mouth.
God, yeah.
Typically, it's always the middle head, which usually ends up becoming like
the left
Mecha
head.
Ghidorah, but yeah, it was the left one, which... Pretty sure Ghidorah's never had regenerative properties before, but after that, as he lands on Rodan's volcano.
They should have did the Hydra thing, man.
Yeah, they did the Hydra thing. He didn't.
Minus
he
his
didn't
two
get two
heads.
more heads.
Yeah, I was
but
waiting for that. I was like, dog, if they
it
had this.
sprouts out, and then he just does his little orca cry, which made all the kaiju in the world start going crazy.
Yeah, and I love their interactions with the three heads too, showing that they're their
they
own
like
little
nip
thing.
at each other occasionally.
Yeah, like when they did the second one, the second frequency, when the orca did it again, and like they started focusing, and then it got taken away in Antarctica, and then they were like still looking, and he's like pulled the other head towards him. He's like, no, over here, focus over here. It's like, man, that was cool. What?
Talking about some of these soldiers being really smart, but like when they were running away from Rodan, one he had to eject, I guess, but like he got straight chomped.
Oh, I love that. I love that. He thought he was gonna be safe, straight in the mouth.
Straight into the mouth. Yeah, Rodan also did like a nice little barrel roll that took out like, I don't know, like 10 jets.
We calling him Rodan or Rodan, man? What are we doing?
I go back and
It's
forth.
Rodan, okay? They even said it in the movies, Steven.
I like the way Rodan sounds.
Get your shit together,
I like
Steven.
the way Rodan sounds. I'm sorry.
Clapping your ass back to the 1930s. You piece of shit.
Okay.
Okay, continue.
Rodan.
I am through the roof today, Steven.
Yeah, there was a little scene where like Rodan, after he gets resurrected, I forgot, it was like they were tracking a storm which they lost Ghidorah in, because Ghidorah is the storm.
Which they were
is when they
fighting
find
too.
that out. So as soon as Rodan comes out, Ghidorah, or the storm changes front, they're like, no storm does that. That's when they find out Ghidorah controls the storm. And so they like are running away in their jet. They lead Rodan to Ghidorah, who just it's pretty much waxed.
Yeah, I thought they were straight going to just kill him immediately. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, wow.
I thought Rodon was dead.
I was like, that's quick. Okay, didn't expect that. But of course, he turned into a submissive little peepee.
Yeah, he came limping back like underneath his volcano.
He's like, okay, I'm going to bow down to you. You're the king. You're the king. And then, of course, like we said earlier, you know, Ghidorah just started summoning all these bad motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm. There's some really impressive shots in here. One of my favorite ones was Godzilla fighting Ghidorah again back at the Red Sox Stadium. I think it's the Red Sox Stadium.
Yes, it was.
And then like Ghidorah chomps on like a little power grid and has a really awesome shot. He's just shooting lightning like at the tips of his wings, his like all of his heads.
Classic
his
Ghidorah. That's what made me excited.
Also, this seems like they did another little minor change with him, which I think his tail was kind of like a rattlesnake's tail.
Yeah,
which is kind of odd, but pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say it fit. It could be reminiscent to the bells that Matt was saying. Like he wanted it to be bells.
They seemed to change his roar up a little bit, but I still liked it.
Sounded good.
Mothra's roar was awesome, I thought.
Very high pitched.
I don't remember how it typically sounds, but it's close to that. I think
where it's like
very high.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one, it sounded really pretty.
Godzilla's obviously his money. It's always
yeah,
his.
they played like 2 or 3 of his like theme songs. Oh, it always makes me think of like I think it was in like a Dave Chappelle episode when he fights Godzilla. Like,
he's fighting.
They make it like a slight like hip hop beat at the end. It's always like the little bump. I always think of that, like the little hip hop beat.
I forgot about that sketch. That was good. That was a good one. That's a good sketch.
He fucks a volcano.
He had to spread a seed, man. He had to spread a seed.
I'll call you sometime.
Then the after credit scene, of course. We got
yeah, we get to see his severed head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the one of the severed heads. I think it's the one that I guess I got thrown out in the ocean when Godzilla bit it off. But it shows Tywin because he did not die. He's like, we'll buy it.
Yeah.
So my original thought was like maybe they're gonna like use that head for Mecha Ghidorah, but Mecha Ghidorah only ever has like one mech head. So maybe they're gonna do the opposite of this, where he has like one organic head and the rest of it's gonna be like mechanical. Either that, but like I said, he does have regenerative properties, so maybe they'll just like clone him or something.
Or spark something in him to bring him back to life kind of thing. But he doesn't have a body.
But that also sets up the fact that like what we were kind of afraid of is like what might happen, unless they're just hinting towards another Godzilla movie after King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
But this, like you said, maybe this will be them teaming up to fight Ghidorah.
Because there's no way that fucking Kong can hang this dude.
No! Because, okay, yeah. When Mothra put his soul into Godzilla, he got powered up for a second time. They already said he was going to be like a nuke after the first one. Like they were counting down the minutes until like he expelled all that radiation.
It was going to 12, 6, 4.
But he didn't do like the red laser beam like he normally does. It looked like he was going to. Like he was powering up like crazy. Like his skin all looked like it was on fire and shit. But then he just like does like an EMP blast. Which like disintegrated some of Ghidorah's heads.
Dude,
and like
his wing immediately.
Yeah,
the first blast, boom. It's like, oh shit. Ghidorah's like, oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake.
Everything around Godzilla is kind of like melting at that point. Like when he's stepping towards him, he blasts him again. Ghidorah falls on his back, gets stepped on. It looks like his foot just goes like through him. Like just through him.
There's so much power and radiation from that he sinks into the fucking ground. Like he didn't tackle him; he just went straight to the ground.
Yeah, because they did like go into a crater.
Yeah,
because
as soon as he puts his thing, it's gone. You're like, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like,
did
Godzilla just die?
Yeah,
they can't do that because they have a fight.
I was like, wait, what?
But yeah, you see Ghidorah's head rise out of the rubble. You're like, oh shit, somehow he lived. But no, Godzilla's just throwing it around in his mouth, and he like blows his atomic breath and disintegrates his mouth. I thought it was going to go through Ghidorah's mouth. It was going to
Which would have been an awesome shot, though. That would have been an awesome
blows it
shot.
up out of his mouth. It was pretty cool.
So you got they introduced that Godzilla, and we're supposed to like. There's no way that him and Kong actually fight.
But yeah, obviously he's not going to be powered up twice in this, so he's not going to be able to do like red EMP shit. Yeah. But still, though, like, what the fuck is Kong going to do?
It's basically like
has
Ultra
mobility.
Instinct. Yeah, it's going to be like Batman vs Superman, where they're
like
fighting.
Dawn, I was like, what's Caesar going to do?
Speaking of Caesar, King Kong, we got them apes coming, boy. We got them apes coming. Hoo, 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 hoo. Human work. Okay. But it's going to be like that, where they butt heads, they do whatever, but there's a bigger threat.
Which would be fucking cheesy.
I really hope King Kong does sign language.
Peace. Godzilla's like, fuck that.
I'm just saying, all he needs to do is shoot his breath up. How is King Kong still going to be like, I got this?
They showed King Kong's resistance to like napalm and Skull Island, but what the fuck is that going to do?
But he's still a teen. That's what I'm saying. They're going to have to jump. Like, this is going to have some time jump, dude. King Kong cannot handle it.
Does not matter.
But you have to think that Kong has ridiculous. I think strength-wise, pure strength-wise, Kong probably will have the edge. But durability and just overall overwhelming power.
I hope there's a moment where Kong's like trying to break Godzilla's like jaw, and he's just gonna get like a face full of fucking atomic breath,
things, and that's what kills him.
He's gonna get tail slapped. I want Godzilla to shove a tree down that motherfucker's throat.
We have a little bit of pent-up anger, given the last what was it, the 70s movie?
It's 70. It looked terrible. I love people in suits and stuff. I'm just saying, like, it looks goofy. Like I said, Kong shoving a tree down Godzilla's throat. That's not gonna happen, bro.
It shouldn't. No, it should not.
What kind of matchup is that? Because like let's just remember, obviously the like skull is radically different. He's not gonna fit on the Empire State Building.
No.
But like, yeah, like King Kong got taken out by goddamn like airplanes circling a fucking building.
It's a different Kong, bro. It's a different Kong, man.
I know.
This one's a beast. You saw what he fought in that movie, Skull Island?
Yeah, and he still got his hands cut up by like a helicopter blade and like little fucking skull crawler teeth.
But they were still usable. Like they weren't completely destroyed.
I'm saying he bled.
Godzilla bled?
Yeah, by monsters.
By monsters. I mean, he got hit by a man-made blast and it incapacitated him. That's all I'm saying.
We also forgot the other scene where Ghidorah straight picked his ass up, took him to the sky, and dropped him, and he was like on fire because of his re-entry.
And can we acknowledge that he choked his ass to sleep with his own neck?
You see his little T-Rex hand would just go limp.
Yeah, that's the sign. Call it, ref.
Ghidorah's necks are strong as shit.
Dude, yes, because there are multiple times that... Well, he did rip it off, so clearly Godzilla has the biting power, the biting force to actually be able to rip it off.
You're going to have some like serious like carpal tunnel or get something.
He's going to have to see a chiropractor after this.
Yes.
Oh, wait, he can't. Because he did. For now. I mean, clearly that showing the head afterwards.
I thought was pretty cool, like snake heads.
And the credit scenes, they were doing the similar thing to what they do with Godzilla, showing news reports of stuff happening.
Yeah, it looked like there was a Mothra egg found.
Yep, they said Mothra egg found. Awesome. So that's kind of what Mothra does. She lays her little egg.
Dies in every fucking movie.
She knows she's going to die. She's like, I'm not, compared to these other monsters, I'm really nothing.
I'm a moth.
Yeah, I'm a moth that has some sort of healing powers.
I tend to die to fire.
Yeah, I can kind of boost your powers and I can kind of heal you. Because that's what she was doing at first when she was over Godzilla in the water.
Yeah, yep. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. Queen Mothra all day, man.
Give her a lamp.
Give her a lamp. Man. Pleased. Could have less human, but very pleased.
Absolutely. This movie could have been trimmed a little bit.
Yes.
It felt
but
like
I enjoyed
a little bit too much filler.
Definitely going to see it again in theaters for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably go check it out again.
Which is always awesome. Sweet.
Yep. There's only like 2 movies I've seen twice this year, which was like Us and obviously Infinity War or Endgame.
And you've only seen that twice? I'm just kidding. I've only seen it twice.
Okay. I was like, what?
It's good. I think it's overhyped, though.
Yeah. It's just been like, I think I've gone to the movies this year like more than any other year. I've gone to the theaters like 18 times so far.
And you watched a decent amount of Netflix movies, too?
Yeah.
Proud of you.
I watched Bash Bros yesterday.
Great, right? I'm Jose!
So,
and I'm Mark.
Where are you going to go to get shade when all the trees are burned? It's like, there's some very deep, good, stupid moments, which I thought was
great. My name is Mark, and I don't like pork. And that's
because I like to eat pork because it's tasty on my fork. Got a bunch of animals, gonna put them on my orc.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot. And then it shows them both.
My Goliathes.
What's the plural word for Goliaths? Goliaths. Yeah, we got to... Noise. Glad you enjoyed it. It was just long enough, too.
Yes. Yes.
You know what else is long enough? The word from our sponsors.
Omega Level is proudly sponsored by Ink or Dye Studios, a unique combination of a tattoo parlor and hair salon. Located at 270 North Dakota Street by Flanagan's, Ink or Dye Studios employs the best artists and stylists around. Boasting a friendly atmosphere, helpful, talented, and incredibly creative staff, Ink or Dye Studios is the only tattoo shop and hair salon you'll ever need. Stop in, call, or contact them through their social media accounts today to set up an appointment.
On to Mr. and Mrs. X out of the Mojo-verse. Gambit is going to go reclaim his throne of the Thieves Guild. He's going back to the Big Easy. New Orleans.
I was so happy when they actually said that. It was...
His nice little inner monologue the whole time, too. He's like, people don't change. And they did it. He said it once again. He's like, am I the good guy? Am I the bad guy? You see in the background all the pictures of like the news report saying mutants are still fucking bad. They need to be contained. And it's like, dude,
The public opinion on X-Men is just never consistent.
Which is weird because like we're cool like like Black Panther, like regular superheroes. Those guys are cool, but for some reason when you put the term mutant on someone, you're immediately like, "Oh, I hate this guy."
Them and the Inhumans.
Yeah. It's just that's dumb. They still have powers just like them. Just their DNA's altered.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
You don't want anyone else to be better than you, do you?
Well, no one's mad when fucking Thor's running up in town. You're like, "Oh, he's not from this planet." It makes sense. He's an alien.
He is not subject to earthly rules.
Oh, yeah, because no one on Earth fucking with the Thor, man. Jeez.
There's a few people that could.
Humans? There's not a single human on the planet that can fuck with Thor.
Iron Man has. When he has, like, certain kinds of armor. And certain
when he uses
shit,
God metal from Asgardians. They chumps to Thor, son. Give me World Breaker Thor.
World Breaker Hulk.
No, I know. I meant to combine that, but I was talking about end of time Hulk.
Hulk's beating him before.
End of time Thor, where there's literally only Thor left. You want to fuck with that Thor? Who's standing to that? Loki with Null's sword? Ain't nobody give a shit, bro.
And Gore did.
Shit, and Gore caught them hands.
By like 3 different Thors.
3 different Thors. But we're getting off track, as you know. But we're going through.
Go
He's
read
coming
God of
through.
Thunder.
Good stuff. We have him going through, having these inner monologues, which was nice. He's doing some cool tricks, cool parkour.
Parkour. Talking about how Rogue's probably not going to come because she's got to help Miss
going
Marvel.
off to
and then,
Logan.
like you said, seen those news reports, so she might. He feels like she's going to go help out
Scott and
Wolverine
Logan.
and
Yep.
Cyclops. Scott
Summer. That's his name.
Okay. I was going to say Scott Lang.
Scott, what the fuck's she helping Ant-Man? We going everywhere with this series. But I'm glad it's getting out of the Mojo. By the end of it, I was like, Mojoverse is fine, but I still wanted them to continue the Xandra arc. This one isn't really going with that route either. This is definitely going to close
We're
its
never
own
going to
stuff
see
out.
that girl again.
God, I
in
know.
this
Fucking
series,
we
only got one more
and
issue.
it was acknowledged at the beginning of being an Omega level thing. Because it's the daughter of fucking Too Strong. Oh, man, whatever.
I haven't remembered anymore.
Just going off. He's going off. But going into this, he finally gets back to the Thieves Guild. Of course, because they're talking, he's waiting. He's hearing how it sounds. And they're like, already like, well, Gambit's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. We need to do something, blah, blah, blah. The Assassin's Guild, they weren't saying anything bad about them. And it's because they actually joined forces. Mm-hmm. He's like, wow, I'm glad you guys have joined forces.
Well, first he was like, I could take the sneaky route or I can make the flashy entrance. I'm going to go with the flashy entrance because I think it's more stylish.
Is this how you greet your king?
Yeah. Yeah, some dude named Laurent is trying to take over, and he's like, well, this isn't how I planned it, but attack.
Yeah. Of course, they're attacking them, and that's when the assassins, I believe, they didn't get involved until the reveal of the new Kandra.
Yeah.
And Gambit knew immediately by the outfit and just the demeanor, because apparently the body was switched in a previous issue. They said in the
Uncanny X-Men
issue 6, 2013. I didn't read that, so yeah, I don't know.
It's a big callback.
Big callback. I was like, okay,
Probably
shit.
got a good memory.
Yeah. Talking about bringing that information back, right? It's like, damn. But then they introduced that, and she seems very powerful. She did nothing, but she seems like she's powerful.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know who the hell this girl is.
But then we, of course, had Belladonna, which I thought was cool.
Don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know Bella?
No.
For a second, I was like, are they trying to hint at an intimacy thing when they got real close? Because I was like,
Dude,
they have history.
I thought
they had a history.
Yeah.
So
like, why he's been married to her for 11 years? She's already going to cheat on Rogue.
But of course, they go. Kandra gives her whole spiel about like, you're not as welcome, and like a lot of things have gone, changed since you've been gone and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, well, this isn't how you introduce the king, and of course he gets fucking hit.
Yeah, I forgot he gets it.
He gets hit. Belladonna comes in, and then he's like, oh shit,
in a shit ton of chains.
Yeah. So the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild are now working together, and that's when we get the reveal of the Thieves Guild is like, oh, you think that present at the end of your wedding was just a coincidence? Like, so they were the ones that put that box there
they
for
were
the
saying
Mojoverse.
also how they said like you've been off on like your space wedding moon and stuff like things have gotten worse here. We're just supposed to like wait for you with open arms until you get back.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, while they were there setting up the fake box to get them trapped in the Mojoverse, they stole a power dampering collar.
I think a few of them, yeah.
And that's why they had, a few of them. And that's why they had him. He's like, man, you think that headache's just a fucking thing from chains? No, we have you power dampered, dude.
He's like, how does Rogue deal with this all the time?
Yeah,
she did that voluntarily.
Yeah. Just shows the strength
it's like
difference
a dull pain the entire time. Like you got a minor headache.
Sucks. 24/7. Yeah, that's got to suck. And I like that they... once the reveal, Belladonna didn't seem like Damn, what was I going with that? Just go. I'll come back to me.
Okay. Well, Rogue shows up. Turns out that she did not abandon him to go with the X-Men. And he's like, well, I'm honored. She's like, you're my husband. You're the most important thing in the world. Like, what do you think was going to happen?
I know.
She goes about waxing everybody, starts absorbing information. She's like, that's what you've been doing to him? That's not cool or whatever. Gets cliche thing when she gets shot in the back and incapacitated. She gets chained up next to him, even though she has far less chains.
And that was Kandra's blast that time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and
so clearly she has enough to incapacitate Rogue.
They have sexual innuendo. She's like, I picture our wedding having chains, but I thought they'd be more fun.
I hated that because they did the same fucking thing at the beginning of the next issue of Mojoverse. Like, they literally rehashed the same fucking jokes. Like, literally the same scene. Like,
I thought it sounded familiar.
Yeah, I was reading, I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my God, they literally just did the same thing except Rogue said it, not Gambit.
Yeah.
Gambit said it in the other one.
He's
Come
like,
on, dude.
He's like, I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
Then, yeah, they get shocked. There's like electricity goes through their chains, like knocks them out. They wake up, and I can't remember what he says. He said something about Rogue, like how they're like going to torture her or something. She said, "No, this is more of a sacrifice."
Yes, like they
so
wake
they got
up
her
and
on
she's
like an actual like X this time.
I doubt they're going to kill Rogue. Highly unlikely.
Fucking of course
highly,
not. How
highly
can
unlikely.
they?
That'd be nuts. I don't know. They have her there, weakened powers. What is she going to do? What is Kandra's capable of? You know what I mean? What is Belladonna? Belladonna's pretty strong for the most part.
Oh, maybe they're going to get her back her full form by sacrificing Rogue?
Oh, true, because she does acknowledge that she hates this weak, frail... Like, she's like, oh, I hate this form.
They said it looks like, kiddish? Like, she looked younger,
Yeah, she looked younger.
Yeah.
I didn't think she looked like a kid.
Teenager.
Yeah, she looked like she was like probably like 21, 22. She looked like an adult. But I'm assuming her natural form is much more mature and more like
So yeah, we
didn't
didn't get anything on like Rogue's dad in this.
Nope.
Oh, we also talked like at the beginning how he's like sneaking through everything. I guess because
you mean Gambit's dad?
Yeah. So
yeah,
I guess Rogue's saying like he feels like he's more back at home when he was like sneaking through the city because he also had contacts in.
Yep, and that's what he did. You know what I mean? That was his thing. He's like it's like hiding and doing stuff like that. That just comes natural to him.
Yeah, he said usually he would just get some X-Men with like some teleporting X-Men to help him, but none of them wanted to. Shows you that the state of the world is in for X-Men yet again.
Yet again, shit is going crazy.
Yep. And yet again, we got another fantastic issue of Justice League.
Man. Justice League Odyssey?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Justice League Odyssey, not regular Justice League, because...
I don't know how this is doing sales-wise, or if I have not seen anyone even talking about this. You know, you don't even have these comic book things in IGN. Like, they've been covering... IGN does a fair amount of comic book coverage.
Yeah.
And I have yet to see them talk about Justice League Odyssey.
They haven't done, like, one review?
This is fucking huge. This is huge. This is crazy, man.
I feel like this should have some sort of humongous impact on the DC universe, considering that the Source Wall is still gone.
Source Wall's still gone. We have
Darkseid possibly being built. Yeah, Darkseid either
trying to create a new apocalypse,
or getting his power back somehow, manipulating people.
Well, but see, that's what we were saying.
Jean-Paul reaching his voice,
and I'm glad they finally make sense. It makes me want to reread that issue now that I don't hate it. Now that they came
since they aren't contradicting themselves.
Exactly, they're not contradicting. Now it makes sense. They're clear to see because Jessica Cruz isn't involved that she's not being manipulated. So they have Starfire start to question him.
Personality starting to change, yeah.
Azrael start questioning him, which I love the opening of this because all he did was speak and everyone's like, fuck, we with you. Like even Blackfire stepped down.
She tried to attack him.
But then was like,
be calm, Blackfire. 3 words and she just kneels down.
3 words.
3 words.
3 words. But that was awesome. I was like, oh, Azrael, what's up, man? Okay, now you have the disciples, the Azraelites.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Tamaranians.
It's a simple, yeah.
It wasn't even just the ground troops that he calmed with his voice. It was like space fleets and stuff, too. Like everybody sees fire. Yeah.
Yes. And did you catch that when when Cyborg finally was able to... I'm not going to jump to that.
Cyborg wasn't there.
Yep, Cyborg wasn't there
he
for
got
the beginning.
boom-tubed away in the last issue.
In the last issue, he was left at a temple that seemed to be created by Darkseid and protected by Brainiac because... he doesn't want this to be created. Stop Darkseid at all costs.
Prevent Sepulchre.
Deny Darkseid. That was cool. Nice, Steven. That was cool. I like that.
It was cool until you ruined it.
Yeah. Once you acknowledge something being cool, it's less cool. I am the worst. I am the Brita of this podcast. But we have him doing his thing, handling his own for a while. Cyborg, He was
He's
handling.
actually doing
He
pretty
was
damn
doing pretty
well.
fucking good until it mutated and formed a Megatron or a Megazord. It turned into this ultimate thing that started talking more than just 3 words. By the way,
Yeah.
it was like trying to like actually talk to him, like, "Hey, don't do this," kind of thing.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna go ahead and go to the extreme and do a self detonation with antimatter and destroy everything that's in this. I was like, "Fuck me, dude." Just fuck it. We'll destroy everything.
He said 10 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like, what is this stone made of?
What is this?
As he's
Because
cutting
he
through,
he found the source. He was able to break through and grab what looked like a.
It was some sort of relic.
Yep, it looked like I'm not a big fan of One Piece, but it looked
I
like
was just-
it
I was
looked like a
thinking-
demon fruit.
I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah, it looked like a demon fruit. But apparently, him doing this, I'm assuming it has some sort of what did he call it though?
It sounded like it had like some sort of like mother box ability.
It was another box ability because he absorbed all the information, and then he found out that Darkseid was right.
Yeah, it also gives the locations to other relics.
It gives the location to all the other
He can
relics.
also boom tube, but he can't boom tube out
Not
of the
all the
ghost
time,
sector.
thank goodness. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise it's just being like, well, why didn't he just boom tube out of any given situation? It creates so many
Yep,
problems.
it just now created that, and it was like a mini boom tube. Like I can do it only in certain parts.
Mini boom tube in a way, but he did summon the fucking skull ship.
That's true. And they're all like,
Yeah, they all got wrecked, and he's just on the ship. Like, whoa, what the hell happened?
Yes.
Oh, wait, Cyborg, you're back.
welcome back. And of course, Cyborg explains to them what's going on.
Yeah.
Tells them Darkseid's right, stuff like that. Azrael gave his spiel. But did you catch that? He's like, "You're the leader."
Yeah.
Like that's how I read it. Was like, "We listen to you, Cyborg." Like clearly that was showing them kind of getting distance. And then Jessica Cruz.
Yeah, going back a little bit though, after Blackfire tried to attack him and got subdued by his words, Starfire's trying to talk to her. She's like, Blackfire's like, you still believe this? Like, you're still being controlled by Darkseid. It's so obvious. Bye.
Yeah, dude, Blackfire's like, I'm not living
So,
in
like, she was
this.
crying and stuff. She's like, I wanted to attack, but I couldn't.
Yes, but while they fight each other, they're still sisters, you know what I mean? And Starfire, man, they
So
are.
it's in a way because Blackfire's tried to kill her several fucking times.
Yes. But this time it was like that moment of like, please, let's leave together. But Starfire, how she was talking and how her dialogue was written was like she sounded like she was manipulated.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%. Like that's not Starfire. Like,
Also,
and I like that transition.
They were
too.
also questioning like, why the hell couldn't Jean Paul do this before? If you're wondering who Jean Paul is, that's Azrael. He's like, I think he always could. It's just now he finally believes in himself. Which, yeah, I think he himself said that too.
He had to have a line. He's like, I didn't have faith like I do now.
He's also talking about like the good fight or something. Yes. He's definitely getting like very preachy.
Dude, I know. He 100%. I mean, everyone's bowing down to him. He's literally a god to them now.
Yeah,
Like
so-
it is official.
So now like everyone's actually listening to them. Now the Azraelites are protecting like at least that sector like under his rule, under Azrael's command.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. He has a lot of people under his rule.
Yeah, and it's cool that I was hoping Rapture wouldn't be a villain, and I really hope that Rapture gets a little more love in this series. But I don't know how much longer we have, being on issue 8. Seems like we have a lot of minis going on right now, little maxis, 12-issue
That's
things.
usually for like Marvel. I'm hoping Justice League Odyssey will keep going.
God.
This is very good.
Yes,
so far.
I need it. I don't want this to be anything less than 50 issues. But at the same
Well,
time,
they could be dedicating more time to this because I think DC finally said that like after either sometime during this year or next year, they're no longer doing like bi-monthly releases. Because there's been like 2 issues for like Batman like every fucking month and Wonder Woman every month, so you're getting like damn near 100 issues a year.
Jesus.
You know, like
not enough to keep up, man.
yeah, exactly. That's,
Especially
a lot
if
of
you're
people are
reading, like,
I
4 or
can't
5 other
buy
issues.
all these.
Yeah. Especially if you're reading upwards of like 10 to 20 issues. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
20 different series. Like,
yeah.
man, it's like, wow.
It gets expensive real quick.
You don't realize you're like, oh, that's only $5. Well, you're doing that twice a month, every month for 4 different series.
Yeah. Well, DC
that's
like
up.
during New 52, they used to be like $3.99. I think DC's promised like we're no longer doing that. They're going back to $2.99.
Awesome.
Unfortunately I wasn't around when comic books were like a penny. I wish I was.
That would be great.
I'd actually be able to read a lot of shit.
But man, as the series really ramping up. I mean, it's kind of always been ramped up.
Yeah,
It's not really a downfall. And like I said, this kind of fixed that one issue I had with that last issue.
Yeah, how they seemed
Or
like they were
with- yeah.
contradicting themselves
Yes.
about why they got summoned.
Yeah.
But yeah, even
2 issues
Starfire I
ago.
think was talking to either Cyborg or Azrael, talking like Darkseid did summon us here, but he summoned us here for a reason. Like he trusted us to get this stuff done. There has to be a reason. Like,
But now Cyborg wants to go against that.
I can't remember. Was she talking to Blackfire when she's like, Darkseid is a god? Obviously, he knows more than us.
Yes.
Like he's got a bigger picture than we do.
And that's when she was like, oh my
yes,
God. you
Darkseid
truly
is
believe
selfish. I do know that he's done a lot of wrong. We know that, but at this point we need to. Can we afford not to trust him?
Yeah.
That's
Didn't
what she said.
Yeah, yeah. And then that was when Blackfire was like, "Oh fuck, nope, I'm out."
Yeah.
And then on the boat when he boom tubed on the boat on Brainiac's ship, he actually explained. He's like, "We're going against him."
Yeah.
Like they're trying to. He's like, "So you want to You want to do everything to Darkseid and then backstab him?
Isn't that he normally double crosses us? Exactly.
So you want to backstab your greatest foe?
Yes.
Hot damn.
Yeah, that's when I was starting to think. I was like, maybe they aren't under his rule, or like maybe they aren't being manipulated. But Jessica Cruz obviously just like, hey, Ring, how much power do I need to incapacitate Cyborg, Starfire, Azrael?
So that's clearly going to be a driving force later on too. Because what if it's just Azrael and Starfire that have been manipulated? Because how can Darkseid manipulate a machine? I know Victor is a man.
Yeah, he's still a man.
But he's still a man that has now absorbed 3 fucking mother boxes since we've been watching this. Since we've been reading this series.
3?
The very beginning with Brainiac's ship. That's technically from the last one.
Yeah.
And then the next one at
his planet.
And now this one. And he's probably going to absorb the next one. Cyborg's about to be.
He said he's capable of doing stuff he's never been able to do before. We don't know what the hell those are, but soon we're going to find out.
Man, I know. So
I really hope Cyborg's able to keep all this power.
Yeah, I hope it's not just like this series. Now he's back to normal, because this would really make Cyborg very interesting to me. Like, okay, Cyborg is can clearly so far carry himself as a leader. In my opinion,
yeah.
This series has been like, okay, I'll fuck with you, Cyborg.
Yeah, I've never thought of him as a leader before, but this is pretty cool.
This one is definitely, especially if he can actually deal with the clearly Azrael and Starfire are going to be like against them at one point. I'm seeing that coming.
Yeah.
And Jessica Cruz is probably going to try to fight all 3, and Cyborg's like, stop, I'm with you. And she's like, no.
But from what we know, the Green Lantern rings are capable of doing anything.
What's Will? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
God, that makes me so mad.
That he said that in Heroes in Crisis?
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Oh, we're excited about talking about Heroes in Crisis. It's next week. We're wrapping that up. The last 2 issues, we're doing it. Can't wait to explain this bizarre shit.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, man.
You're the leader of the fucking... You are the number 1 Green Lantern. From what we learned from Death Battle, you literally have more willpower than the willpower that exists in the fucking universe.
But he literally says, what is will? I don't know.
Also, I saw people kind of like... I've actually seen comments on Reddit like actually favoring Heroes in Crisis. Some people are like, oh, I like how they did like all the Robins questioning themselves.
That's
like,
so dumb.
They all said literally the exact same fucking shit
Except for
as the
Damian.
other ones. Yeah, he was like, oh, who cares?
Yeah, what'd they say about me? Save it, Steven. We'll talk about it next week. We'll vent.
Also, I found out that apparently Orphan is, I guess, another like part of the Batman family. She didn't say anything.
Was that the quiet panel? It just literally was nothing.
Just nothing. And I can't remember who the other person was.
They showed my boy Javi.
Yeah, there was another person that was just like, he's like, you guys probably don't even remember me. Like, no one ever does. It was another...
Yeah, dude in the suit. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was another girl. I can't remember. She's like, they usually don't bring me up. They usually forget about me.
Blue chick.
No, I can't remember. Apparently, she's another...
There were a few that I didn't know.
She's another member of the Bat family, apparently.
Oh.
She faked her death at one point.
Oh.
Well, she died, but it seemed like no one in the Bat family cared. But they've kind of retconned that with like Batman. Like, she faked her death for some bullshit reason. And Batman's just like, oh... We didn't care because I knew you fucking...
I was about to say, I was like, how'd Batman not know? Oh, okay.
Because he fucking knew.
Yeah.
Because he knew.
He's like, yo...
and yet he didn't care enough to go find this person and let her know, like, hey, why'd you fake your death?
No, because he knew that she would come around because, once again, I'm Batman.
He's goddamn Batman.
I'm Batman.
Just fine. I just don't know who this character was, so it's whatever. That's most of the confessions in Sanctuary is just like, who the fuck is this person?
This isn't a Heroes of Crisis, man.
No, I know that. We'll see you next week for that. You might want to bring... next week's going to be a special episode. All I'm going to say is you might want to bring your 3D glasses.
Very important. Very big things happening. Hope you liked this week. Hope you appreciated how Steven and I really enjoyed most of what we read.
Yes.
Most of what we watched.
We actually enjoyed pretty much everything we talked about this episode.
Yeah, this was a good episode.
Except for when we started talking about Heroes in Crisis, because fuck that shit.
And then we just kind of left on a very sad note.
Seriously, I don't... Reddit seems to hate a lot of things. I know I'm not like Reddit's not just one user. But how the fuck did anybody like Heroes? I could get the general idea of everything that happened is interesting.
Yes,
but that last episode,
but the execution,
not the last issue, even though it was pretty fucking stupid.
See, I thought
And
9
they
was
went
worse than...
meta with it, where he's just like, things are going to get stupider.
That was the last issue.
I know.
Yeah.
But the big reveal
That was awful.
was dumb. We'll see you next week when we talk about that. Bye. Bring your
Bye.
3D glasses.
Hashtag fuck Jeff.
Bye. Love you, Alpine.
Alpine.